Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode here on My Line Purpose podcast. We're your hosts, Nicole and Kayla. We have really fun topics to cover with you today, but the drill is we always go over what we're grateful for. And I really like this because TGIM a few weeks back was all about the fastest way to shift from worry and doubt into believing anything and everything is possible is with a really intentional gratitude practice. So I love that we always kick this episode off with gratitudes. What are you grateful for today?
Today, I am grateful for my two healthy kids. Health as well. We've
Mhm.
learned this over and over again. If you don't have your health, you don't have nothing else matters. And my kids are thriving. They're 2 and 4. They are climbing on the playground and eating their vegetables. And I'm so grateful that they're healthy and happy. What about you?
That's a good one. As we
Mhm.
approach the end of Q2, I'm grateful for a really abundant Q2, abundance in all of the ways. And yeah, I just feel like the more and more we grow, our business started in Q2, like
Mm.
Q2 of 2020. And so oftentimes Q2 feels like a start and it feels like the start of the momentum. And then Q3, Q4 feel like the ball really gets going. And then actually Q1 feels the integration or the implementation of it all, maybe a little bit of a rest and a reset before gearing up for Q2 again. So I just really like the energy that comes with this time of year. We've welcomed so many new Alliance CEOs, cash flow. We've committed to our book. We've got our podcast happening. We did She Leads. Like it's a big time. We celebrated turning 5.
Yeah, we have had a big Q2. I'm listening and yawning, not because I'm tired, because of Q2.
Yeah, just
Um,
not enough coffee yet.
Not enough coffee, and sometimes I need to, I know the health, I just said health is wealth, but sometimes I need to sacrifice a bit of sleep to hit my fitness goals.
Mm,
So here we are.
okay. All right. So we're going to talk about 3 things that we hear you think you need to make sales or that you believe you need to make sales, and it's simply not true.
It's not true. We're
We're going to
here to
myth
debunk it
buster.
all.
Yeah. Okay, let's just go right into the very first one, Kayla. Kick us off with why do you think people think they need to launch? And we love launching, but why do you think people think they need to launch to make a sale? And why is that not true?
Probably a stalling tactic, procrastination. The
Mhm.
launch seems daunting to organize. I'd have to read that document. I'd probably have to set it up on some sort of spreadsheet. That doesn't seem fun to me. I'm not going to do that. And then by the time you're in that negative spiral, you're not selling anything because it's not the magnetic energy you need. I think that must be it. Launching does work. You don't need a spreadsheet. You can do it really simply. And you absolutely do not need to launch officially, like as in cart open, host an event, get everybody in, cart close, blast it all over social, and then take a break. You don't need to do it in those cycles if you don't want to. Lots of businesses have cart open all the live long day, never closes, or they launch things in a really soft way that's not what you'd probably think of as an official spreadsheet oriented multi tab launch. Like you can keep it really simple. So we can explain a bit more of that.
You know what I would also wager a bet on here of why people think they need to launch to make sales? Because especially anybody who's listened to us, we say launching is AKA bring the hype. And then so people are like, the only way to make sales is if you're in high vibe energy all of the time. And so if I'm
Yeah.
launching, then I need to be in high energy. And
Mhm.
that's not available for me right now. I've got this thing going on in my life. So since I'm low energy, I shouldn't be launching and therefore I shouldn't make sales. And I just want to like nip all of that in the butt. We are huge proponents of launching. I'm going to preach launch till the day I die for sure. And I believe that I'm always going to preach launching is just bringing hype around something. Is the expectation that you are always hyped up and always high vibe and energy? No. But if you want to generate new energy and hype around your business, then plan a few launches a year,
Mhm.
especially for something that's open card or open enrollment. Plan a few launches a year. Don't plan it around the anniversary of somebody you loved passing or
Yeah.
like a really hard season of life. And know that the heavy lifting you do in the launch phase can then generate ongoing sales every day, passive sales, reoccurring sales. Like launching is not required. However, it is super helpful to bring bursts of energy. But if you're telling yourself the story that launching is high vibe and I can't be high vibe, so I can't make sales, it's just an excuse.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with launching. Nobody wants to buy from low vibe. Oh, I guess so. Oh, I'm pretty tired, but I guess I'll put this thing out. No, that's not what people want to buy from anyway.
Yeah.
So that's speaking to me like you need support in your business. You need coaching. You're probably doing it all alone. You're feeling like, oh, is anyone even paying attention when I put this thing out on the internet? You need a community. There are so many things, even when life is hard, that can hype you up so that you can show up enthusiastic for your audience. You need to get help if you're feeling like, this is not for me. I can't launch this thing. Like once in a while, okay. But if it's a consistent procrastination story technique of sabotaging yourself, get some support. That's what we're all here for. Nobody wants to climb to the top of the mountain and not have anyone to high five with at the top. It's not fun. We all want
Hmm.
to do it together.
Yeah. And for everybody listening, we always like to say, we talked about this a little bit in last week's Biz Besties. Look for proof and look for proof that supports what it is that you want. If you want to believe you can go out there and make sales without launching, are McDonald's French fries for sale all day, every day? And have they been since I've been around way before us? Yeah. Are they launching French fries every single day? No, they're not. They're launching other things, they're including the French fries in it. You know that they're always for sale. The upgrade is always there. Things, look around in your life of things that are always available for sale that don't have a necessary big, huge launch attached to them. It's totally possible to make sales.
Yeah, consistently sharing testimonials is an excellent way to do that. I went to go look at some mascara this morning because the one that I use gets really dried out and clumpy really easily. I like it on because it doesn't smudge, but it's a dry one. So I'm like, okay, everyone's talking to me about Thrive Cosmetics.
Hmm.
And I thought, I will try the Liquid Lash Extension, whatever it is, mascara. Okay, so I went on their website and guess how many 5-star reviews they have?
18,000?
40.
Wow.
40,000. What kind of bozo looks at 40,000 5-star reviews and is, I don't know if that's going to work for me. It's not a thing. We need social proof. So there's other ways you can bring in the enthusiasm. What
Hmm.
kind of bozo is out there with, okay. And if you use Thrive Cosmetics and you love it, you could tell us. You can send a voice note to the podcast. You can send us a voice note over on Instagram in the DMs. I'm in the market for a new mascara that doesn't smudge. And I'm going to buy the one that people recommend to me. You
Who's
need
the
to
creator of
be,
it?
I don't know, should I look it up?
Yeah, it's probably a celebrity of some sort.
I think it's called Cosmetics, like Cause, because it gives to a good cause. I heard about it from, obviously, Gretchen Rubin. Carissa Bondar, CEO of Thrive Cosmetics.
Hmm.
Changing corporate with love, innovation, philanthropy, and badass energy. So, there are lots and lots of ways you can build enthusiasm and hype in your business. You can lean on other people to do it. It doesn't have to be a cart open, cart closed, complicated launch, but it requires thinking about it and getting support.
Just to go off of you saying that, like sharing testimonials and social proof is such a great way to be making sales as a ripple effect beyond your launch time.
Mhm.
Somebody just DM'd me this morning who I've never met in real life. We don't really know each other, but she has me on Instagram and she reached out to me and said, "Hey, I know that you did Daryl Bouchard's 16-week program a little while ago. And I recently saw you were one of her testimonials. Can you tell me about how it was working with her?" And I was like, yeah, it was incredible. She's really knows what she's doing. I actually learned about macros. Daryl's ex-Navy, so her workouts are no joke. So yeah, I it was a great experience for me. I highly recommend. Daryl doesn't know that I gave that recommendation or that this she probably doesn't know that this person reached out to me. This person will probably go on to hire Daryl. That sale, that transaction is solidified or confirmed because she got the social proof or the testimonial that she needed. And I followed her on social media. I don't think she's like actively launching something right now, but the ripple effect of the work she's put out into the
Mhm.
world will continue to generate sales for her.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so next up of the things that you don't need is a large audience.
Yeah, I'm just going to cut this one off right away. I can't say it enough.
Mm.
That is the one of the lamest excuses possible. It really is. It puts people who make a lot of money or have a quote successful business on a pedestal that it's like putting the cart before the horse or like the chicken and the egg. How do you expect to grow an audience without having a brand and something that people buy and then recommend and refer and social proof? It's like the two of them simultaneously grow together. Yes, you could be that one person who had a reel go viral and then you got 20, 30, 40,000 followers from it or something like that. Sure, you could have a large audience. That does not mean you are selling. We have met many people with large
Mhm.
audiences that have that problem. They're just not correlated. Large audience and lots of money are not correlated, just like small audience and small amounts of money don't have to be correlated. But if that's a belief you have in your mind that I need 100 people to buy from me at $1,000 each, and I only have 1,000 people on Instagram, and then that percent doesn't work because that's 10% and that's not typical marketing or whatever it is, then I need more and more people. Sure, you want to continue to impact more people and grow your audience, but you could totally shift that, all of that thinking around. I could charge $10,000 and make that money a lot quicker. Or I could ask the 100 people who I do know and want to work with if they could refer me to two, three, four other people. Now I'm connected with two, three, 400 other people who could potentially buy from me. But you don't need a large audience. You could have one person raise their hand and say, "Hey, I saw that you have this offer, but I'm looking for something a little bit more personalized and tailored to me. I'm willing to pay more. Do you have the time and the availability to do this thing with me?"
Yeah.
Again, it's like last week's episode, being open to the miracle of yes and the surprise yeses. But if you have it in your head that you need to have this certain size audience so
Yes.
that this amount of people will respond to your opt in, so that this amount of people will work with you, you're cutting yourself off at the these are just the numbers.
Yeah, people buy at different levels too. So I recently bought a book from someone who wrote a book because I wanted to buy the book and read that first before buying into her program. And
Mm.
her program's 997 for 6 months. And so I thought to myself, as I'm in the car, I'm listening to her podcast, I'm like, I love you. I want to work with you. I want to learn more. And then I thought to myself, first I'll buy her book and see how all in I really am. So
Mm.
I pulled over and bought the book and kept going because I didn't want to forget. So that's one sale, 22.99 for her. Now, I'm going to get that book and I'm going to see how committed she is to her business and to helping us get results. And then if I'm into it and I feel her enthusiasm and I want to work with her and I want to commit to this, testing out this lifestyle that I want to learn from her, then maybe I'll buy the program. Okay, so it's like I have the capacity to buy the 997 program. I just want to test the book first. So there's the testers, the people who are like out there, trust is low on the internet, and they're like, I just want to see if you're legit. So give them something to buy to see if you're legit and make that really friggin' awesome. So
Hmm.
there's that. And then there's the people who are like, okay, I don't want to be in a group program. I want personalized one on one support, and I'm willing to pay for that. And for us, it's 2-on-1 support. When we coach people, we don't talk about it very often because we don't have capacity to take tons of people, but we coach people 2-to-1. We have open WhatsApp chat with them every day of the week. We do 4 VIP days a year in person, strategy days, and a glam day. We really dedicate our time to helping their business grow. We create opportunities for them to thrive, to be on stage, for people to know about them. We share everything they're doing with everyone we know. We open up our network. That comes at a price point, and
Mm.
that person who wants to pay that could be the same person who buys a $22 book first. It could be the same person who tries the group program first. You don't know. You're not in charge of that section, but giving people the opportunity to buy, regardless of your list size, is really what you need to do in business.
This is just a side note tangent, but this is why we preach that your freebie and
Mm,
your low price point offer should
mhm.
connect to your high ticket offer. Because
Yeah,
if the book that you bought, even if say it was a free ebook, does not connect to this 997 program, then you're not going to buy it because you're looking for
exactly.
a taste. You're looking for a taste. This is where people are like, I'm creating this thing and calling it this, and I'm creating this group and calling it this, and I'm going to name my podcast this, and I'm going to name my Facebook group this, and I'm going to name my ebook this. And it's, oh my gosh, what are
No
you
one can,
selling?
yeah, no one can figure out what's going on. If it's even a slightly bit confusing, no one's going to do it. And, or the people, it's very hard to get sales if it's even mildly confusing. Then the other thing about this, me buying the book and then buying potentially the high ticket program, did I look at how many sales she has on Instagram? Not sales, followers she has on Instagram? Did I look at that? No, I have no idea how many followers she has on Instagram. I like her message. I know it's going to help me.
Mhm.
I'm concerned about immunity and health and supporting my cellular system. That's why I'm buying that. I don't care if she has 5,000 followers or 25,000 or 500,000 followers. I do not care.
We sold Manifesting Money Masterclass with no Instagram.
Yeah.
We didn't have a My Line Purpose Instagram yet.
Yeah.
We sold it
We
off
don't
of
know.
Kayla Pilecki and Nicole McClellan and just
On
we
Facebook, right?
personal Facebooks. We had personal Instagrams and just telling people like, "Hey, I'm doing this thing." And they're like, "Oh, cool. Yeah, you've always been into manifesting.
Yeah.
Curious to see what this is."
And
That,
so many people have asked you to help them manifest. And before that, so many people asked me to help them with their money. So we put
so
that together and we're like, all right, okay, let's do it.
give the people what they want that you like delivering.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, the third one, you do not need complicated tech. You actually don't really need any tech, and your tech could all be free. The point of this whole episode is that you need conversations with real people who you can actually support and you can figure out the rest later. And then we help you in Aligned CEO method, in cash flow, professionalize your business in a really easy way. But if you're like, I need cash today, you don't need any of that.
So right away, I can hear people being like, I would need a website for them to click around and see what's for sale. And I would need that to connect to the way that they're going to pay me. And I would need all of these things. What's your simple solution to that?
Oh, you just need clarity. You just need it to be really easy for people to work with you. So they meet you or they find you on a podcast or something. You say, follow my aligned purpose. On my aligned purpose, there are pinned posts that say, this is how you work with us. And in our link in bio, there's an exact way to get the freebie, to get the mid range offer, and to work with us either 2 to 1, but for us, it's aligned CEO method. We just need it to be so easy and clear. So we have that and it's all set up as a system. But if you were just starting, if I were just starting and I just wanted to book one-on-one coaching clients, I'd pin a post, I'd get them to comment or send me a DM, and then I would send them a Stripe invoice for the price of the program and do a Google Drive document about our terms of working together are. And then you can even do e-signature on Google Drive to get someone to sign something, or you could just send it out and say, please print this, sign it, and return it to me. We did a Biz Besties a few weeks ago about how annoying it is when people don't have systems and you're trying to work with them. And if you're getting started and you need cash in the door and you make it super clear and super easy for someone to go on their computer and pay an invoice and get the booking link or just Google scheduling is included in your Gmail. So all these things are all possible through Google. And I don't know if it's regular Google or paid Google that you can have all these upgrades, but regardless, it's pretty easy to figure out a simple booking system for people to be able to work with you. You could go back and forth if you needed to at this point. It's just about
Well,
getting the cash in the door.
yeah, and that's if you're delivering something that's live over multiple
Mhm.
times. If you
Yeah.
just are selling a course, if you're just selling an ebook, if you're just selling a PDF, If you're just selling like a one-time purchase, you don't need contracts, you don't need booking links, you don't need
Yeah.
all of that. If you want to just sell your course on how to manifest money in 30 days, then just sell your course on how to manifest money in 30 days. You don't need contracts, you don't need all these things that you think you need. This is more like if you're expecting somebody to show up and honor your time.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And if you were to sell a course, let's say on how to manifest money in 30 days, and you didn't have a course creation platform, you could do a PDF, or you could do an email every week, or you could do a call on your Zoom. You could do any number of ways where you can deliver something and deliver really high value. And it doesn't have to be high tech that's going to hold you back.
Okay, so if there are other things that you feel like need to be in place before you make a sale and you can't wrap your head around how it could be easier, how it could be clearer, how it could be more fun, then please send us a DM after you hear this episode and we'd be happy to myth bust those as well because sales is easy, it's fun, it's being of service, and it's literally just an invitation to people.
Yeah.
That's it. Don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah. You can help them. So
Mhm.
help them.
Yeah.
And if you can't help them, they'll find somebody else who can. That's how it goes.
Exactly. All right, so that's a wrap on this episode. A reminder that this is your very last day, Thursday, June 19th, to get early bird pricing on cash flow, our 4 week plus a bonus week, so 5 weeks in total program focused heavily on sales so that you can have the summer of sales, make so much money in 5 weeks. And early bird pricing is 997 Canadian. You're saving $500. Full price happening tomorrow until we get started on the 25th is 1497 Canadian. Of course, we have payment plans, but when you sign up today and you pay in full, and at Early Bird, you're going to get to join our global community of cash flow queens. We're going to send you a special mug.
Mm.
And not only are you going to get your cash flow queen mug, woohoo, in place of what we used to do in the past, VIP day. Kayla, do you want to talk about how we're kicking off cash flow this year?
Yeah. So it's June. That means you have 6 more months of 2025, and day one of cash flow is June 25th. It's a 90-minute session, and we are walking you through exactly how you can make 6 figures in the next 6 months of the year so that you can close 2025 with an extra minimum 100 grand in your bank account. We are really rolling out the red carpet for cash flow. And we can't wait to have you inside and to have you in our mini VIP day. And then 4 weeks following that of practicing sales, having those conversations, learning what your specific offer is, and getting out there in the world so that you can help people and it feels really good and you can support your lifestyle.
Yeah, it's all going to be so much fun.
It's all happening.
And again, we remove timelines. We
Mhm.
have incredible testimonials from cash flow. So if you're listening to this and you're like, hey, can you send me some of those testimonials? For sure. And just
Yeah.
scope out our Instagram. But we have got every single person who's taken cash flow has had an incredible experience, 100%. We've got life-changing testimonials. Our rate of people who move from cash flow into Aligned CEO method with us over the course of time is incredibly high because everybody's, wow, I got that much value in 4 weeks. What would I get in a year together? So, what our students of cash flow have to say speaks volumes compared to, of course, we love it and we're going to speak so highly of it. But if you want to hear from somebody who's in your shoes or who was in your shoes, where you're like, I've got this business, I've got this course, I've got this product, and it just doesn't seem to be making the money I feel like it could make, then yeah, we're happy to send you those testimonials.
Yeah, we have 20 years plus of mindset coming into this from Nicole. And then I have been a salesperson since I was 19 and I'm 39. So that's 20 years of working that sales cycle and booking some really big fundraising gifts, having a 6 figure company when I was 19 and on. And we are going to talk about how it's absolutely possible for you. We're going to hold you accountable to making it happen.
Yeah. Okay.
All
We'll see
right.
you inside cash flow.
Okay, bye.
Bye.